What's going on, TTC? New Rob Report. Man, we are 2 weeks into the preseason. We've got a chance to see a little bit of everything. Things are looking good in Seattle. We're overall healthy, with the exception of a couple players. Bruce Irvin being one of those guys. He's gonna start the season on the PUP list. But anyways, yeah, after 2 games in the preseason, Seattle's number 1 team is looking good. Russell Wilson has shown well in the Denver game. We came out, played well, and we certainly played well against the San Diego Chargers last Friday. With Seattle's ones on the field, both offense and defense, we are still looking like the team to beat. People want to talk about the things that we've lost, the pieces that we've lost. The team's not skipping a beat. At least it doesn't look like it. Played well in Denver. Can you believe that a Denver sports writer wrote an article stating something to the effect of the game, the preseason. I'm getting choked up just talking about it. Something to the effect that the win that the Broncos had in our game 1 preseason, or preseason game 1, went to show, if nothing else, that the 43-8 whooping that we gave him in the Super Bowl was fluky. Are you kidding me? He really wrote that in an article. A person who I have to assume calls himself a viable or credible source. He writes for Denver, for a paper in the city of Denver, and he actually said that Broncos winning that game showed that, if nothing else, the Super Bowl game was more fluky than anything. They ought to take that guy's job away from him. Against San Diego for Seattle's first home game of the year, we went ahead and took it to those San Diego Chargers. I enjoyed that thoroughly. I'm down here in San Diego. Well, actually, I just moved. I'm about 45 minutes north of San Diego, but yeah, I was down here watching that game, and that was fun to watch. We just mopped the floor with them in that game. That was cool. And they're coming, and Seattle's coming back down here on September 14th, week 2, the Chargers home opener. Got my tickets for that already. Bought my tickets the day they came out. So definitely ain't gonna miss that one. But the team's looking real good. Russell Wilson looks sharp. We haven't got to see Marshawn yet. Marshawn actually was on the field on Friday against the Chargers, but he didn't handle the ball. But Russell Wilson looks good. The defense looks on point. We got a lot of young guys who are doing good out there. Brian Walters being one of them. Walters is doing good. He's trying to make the team. He seems to have an ability returning kicks and punts. So I would assume that Percy is going to get a good deal of return work, but maybe who knows? But Walters does have a special teams presence. I haven't seen a lot out of Paul Richardson yet, but hopefully moving forward we'll get to see more. Overall, the team looks good. Looks good. What's up with these 49ers? And P-Town 49, Wadowski, who else? All you cats, man. Megatron, QB Willie B. Man, what's up with the 49ers? The 49ers haven't scored a touchdown in the preseason yet. The 49ers almost got shut out in both games. Matter of fact, what's even worse, the 49ers got shut out in the first game in their brand new stadium. What kind of crap is that? Now, granted, it's the preseason. None of this stuff matters. It don't matter if you go undefeated every year in the preseason like Seahawks have done mostly. I think this is the first game we've lost in like 3 years in the preseason. But, damn. The 49ers they've got 3 points. In 120 minutes of football, they've got 3 points. If I was a 49er fan, I'd find that a little worrisome. We'll see what happens. But we won't count this one, San Francisco. We won't count this, 34-0 or something like that, whooping that the Broncos gave you. We played the Broncos too, but, the Broncos beat us. But at least we put points on the board. We're all playing our scrubs, but at least we put points on the board. Y'all didn't put no points on the board. None. At home. In your brand new house. That sucks. But anyway, fuck the 49ers. What's going on with these penalties? The penalties is a big thing that the NFL is getting real big on this season, especially in the preseason. They're doing all these, they do the field goal thing as well, where they're kicking the field goal from further back, like a 34-yard field goal or something like that for an extra point. That's whatever. I think that if they change that rule, that's fine. But these penalties, they're going ham on calling the penalties this year. I'm hoping they're only doing this as a trial run for the preseason, and maybe they're not going to really let this go work into the regular season, because the Seattle rule, they're calling this the Seattle rule. The illegal touching and the defensive holding. They're I mean, come on. Here, you know what? You know who we have to thank for this, okay? Because this is what's going on. The Seattle Seahawks have found a niche, okay? We found a niche, and we're better than everybody else at it. Bottom line. Pete Carroll, John Schneider, Paul Allen, they found a niche, and they went with it, and we're better than anyone else at it. And you know who we had to thank for what's going on right now? Is our boy Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh is the one who made the biggest stink about how teams play physical against his receivers. Now, first of all, he has, by design, big, strong receivers simply for their physicality, to be able to throw the ball to these guys who are big and strong, who can bang up against guys and still get up and catch the ball. For the physicality, mind you. And now he's complaining about defenders who are playing physical against the guys that he got to be physical. Jim Harbaugh is the one who made the biggest think about it against teams that play physical against receivers, especially Seattle, because he is fit to be tied, but he's yet to be able to get an upper hand on Pete Carroll and the Seahawks. Jim Harbaugh is a fucking hypocrite and a pussy and a bitch, and fuck the 49ers. So I'm hoping that they actually will tune this down. It's playing physical. There's a holding, and then there's playing physical. There's illegal touching. There's playing now. I mean, 5 yards. Okay, fine, 5 yards, whatever. But it's when they're jockeying for position down there. When these receivers run these 10, 12-yard hitch routes, and the guys are bumping into each other trying to go for the ball. You should have to be able to be. I mean, these are grown men playing football. You should have to be able to have a little bit of competitive edge or competitive, nature. You should be able to be strong and fight for the ball. You should be able to fight for the ball. Now, we're not playing flies up, okay, but you should be able to fight for the ball. So, them calling these penalties, man, this is the Seattle rule. This is what they're doing to end what we've become so good at doing. And Harbaugh's a crybaby. They have to go back and talk about it again, because there was like 2 games that had over 25 penalties called on Friday. One had like 28, one had like 32. I think it might have been the Raiders game that had 28, or it might have been that one had 32. One of them had 28 penalties. Another one had like 32 penalties called. It might have been the Saints game that had 32 penalties called. That's crazy. 28 penalties? 32 penalties? What the fuck? So I like that they're, they got the referees all high tech now, and they can talk directly with the director of officiating or whatever, and that's all good. But you can't just keep throwing the laundry on the field like that, man. That's crazy. You gotta let these guys play. Seattle's still gonna be the best at what they do. So Anyway, that's it. Just a little quickie. I might hit 1, maybe 2 more videos before the regular season starts. I'm just ready for this regular season to get going. Amen. As far as the 49ers go, fuck the 49ers. Go Hawks.